And now, boxing fans, let's take a look at the WBC Continental America's top 12 from middleweights on up to heavyweights. We're going to look at the top 12 of the WBC Continental Americas. Okay, now first we'll take a look at the heavyweight division, and the champion right now is Alex Garcia from the United States. Alex Garcia, who recently fought on USA Network with a big win over Mike Williams. And Alex won that title December 8th, 1992, hoping that will serve as a stepping stone to a world title shot. The number one contender for his title right now is the destroyer, Alex Stewart from Jamaica. Alex Stewart, as you may recall, beating George Foreman to a pulp, just making his face look like Halloween had come early. And Alex Stewart, very powerful, all of his wins by knockout. The number two spot is held by Razor Ruddock, Donovan Razor Ruddock from Canada, who you might remember very well in his two fights with Mike Tyson. The Razor was shocked by Lennox Lewis in his last outing, and I'm sure he's looking to get a rematch with Big Lennox. Number three spot, the big Cuban, Jorge Luis Gonzalez. Jorge Luis Gonzalez, very, very powerful, still undefeated. He was a tremendous amateur, in fact, holding a win over Lennox Lewis. Don't overlook Jorge Luis Gonzalez. Number four spot, Mike the Bounty Hunter. Mike Hunter is another good fighter coming up from the cruiserweight division. He has a very herky-jerky style, very awkward, but it is effective for him. The number five spot, the Atlantic City Express, Bruce Seldon. He's a tremendous offensive fighter, although he does have a suspect chin, and if he can work around that, who knows how far he could go. The number six spot held by Smoke and Bert Cooper, a perennial contender. Bert Cooper has given men like Evander Holyfield and Michael Moore a real scare, and he's always dangerous. Number seven spot held by the Atomic Bull. That's Oliver McCall. Oliver McCall has been around for some time, and he's always threatening. Number eight spot, Phil Jackson out of the United States. Number nine, Tommy the Duke Morrison. Tommy Morrison, after losing to Ray Mercer, looking to climb the ladder back up to title contention. The number 10 spot held by Tony Tubbs, a former world champion. And number 11, another former world champion, Greg Page, also from the United States. And rounding out the top 12 here for the WBC Continental Americas is the big Indian, the boss man, Joe Hip. And Joe Hip, who gave Tommy Morrison a real scare, gave him all he could handle in his last fight, in fact, breaking his jaw. And Joe Hip looking to once again get back on track and look for some kind of a title. And now we go into the light heavyweight division, and the champion is David Vetter from the United States. His nickname is Gumby. And David Vetter is a good fighter. He's been somewhat overlooked. He may lack a little bit of power, but he's a good boxer. And right now he holds the WBC Continental America's title. He won that title on April 28th of 1992. In the number one spot, Randall Yonker. You may have remembered seeing Randall Yonker in action against Michael Nunn on Showtime. Randall Yonker now holding that number one spot. Number two, the man from Huntington Beach, California, Ernie Madaleno. Number three spot held by Isaias Lucero from Mexico. Number four, Egerton Marcus out of Canada. Number five, the former U.S. Olympian, Anthony Hembrick. Number six spot, Booker T. Word from the United States. Number seven is Tim Hilly. Rated eighth, Sergio Merani from Argentina. Number nine is Andre Nelson from the United States. Number 10, Big Art Bayless. Number 11, the former junior middleweight champion of the world. He's now come back as a light heavyweight out of Mexico, Lupi Aquino. And the number 12 spot goes to Big Eddie Mack, also out of the United States. And now we go to the super middleweight division. The champion there is, to me, possibly pound for pound the best fighter in the world right now. He is absolutely on fire, Roy Jones Jr., and it's just a matter of time till Roy Jones has to get a world title shot. The number one contender in the super middleweights, Frank Lyles of the United States. Frankie Lyles fighting for the Goosen stable out of North Hollywood, California. Number two spot, a tremendously gifted fighter, Tim Littles, also from the U.S. In fact, the top six here are all from the United States. Number three, Ronnie Essett. Number four, Antoine T. Bird. Number five, the Punching Postman. He is a U.S. mail carrier, and I'm sure that serves to keep him in shape. Tony Thornton. Number six, Larry Musgrove. Number seven now, out of the Dominican Republic, the always dangerous punching Marquis Sosa. El Colombo, they call him. Number eight is Steve Little from the U.S. Number nine, out of Minnesota, the southpaw Dan Schomer. Number 10, the Canadian Matthew Hilton. Number 11, John Jarvis. And rounding out the top 12 from Guyana is Ray Albert. And now we'll finish it up here with the middleweight division. The champion of the WBC Continental Americas, the man who holds that belt, is the man who beat our own Danny Perez in a slugfest out in Bakersfield, California last year. Thomas Ice-T Tate holds the title right now. His number one contender, Bernard the Executioner Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins is something else, and he's a good fighter, and if those two ever get together, you're going to see a heck of a fight. Number 2 spot held by Otis Grant out of Canada. Number 3, another Canadian, Alex Hilton. Number 4, out of Mexico, the Mexican middleweight Miguel Hernandez. Number 5 is Wayne Harris from Guyana. Number 6, Dave Tiberi out of the United States from back east, from the northeastern United States. You may remember Dave Tiberi, as he was he lost a close decision to James Lights Out Tony for the world title, and most people felt Dave Tiberi won that fight. Number 7 spot is held by Everaldo Armenta from Mexico. Number 8, Hugo Corti from Argentina. Number 9, Ismael Negron. Number 10, the Irish Hawk Brett Lally. Number 11, the half-brother of Marvin Hagler, he's still at it, rockin' Robbie Sims. And rounding out the top 12 from the United States is Gilbert Baptist. So those are the top 12 from 160 pounds on up to heavyweight for the WBC Continental Americas Championship.